AITA for telling my fiancé of 8 years to choose between his best friend and I? Trigger warnings, infidelity, possibly internalized homophobia. Okay, basically my fiancé and I met 8 years ago. 8 years ago, my fiancé and his best friend became business partners as well. When our relationship started off, it was great. Sean was a wonderful boyfriend, and after 3 years, he proposed. He would clean for me, cook for me, etc. He treated me like a princess, sex life was great, and he was seriously the love of my life. After the end of the 3rd year, though, things started to get seriously annoying with his best friend. My fiancé, M27 Sean and his best friend M30A started to hang out with each other more and more. Ace would pick him up in his Hellcat, and every time he'd get a new stupid modification, he'd call Sean to see it. I didn't think anything of it until they started to spend the night with each other. I posted on a Reddit sub when this happened and asked the same question AIO, and I got a lot of yes, you're overreactings. After all, it was only sometimes on the weekends and it was so Sean wouldn't have to drive home after work. It was harmless. Well, then it started to be during the week and for 2 to 3 days at a time. He would go out drinking with Ace almost every weekend and come back home at the crack ass at dawn, we are talking like 1 a.m. Or not come home at all so he wouldn't drink and drive. Plus, I'm pretty sure they hang out after they get off from work because he comes home later than he did a year ago or so. It got to the point where if he had an outing with Ace the next day, he couldn't sleep or eat from the excitement, or even be intimate for the fear of not being able to concentrate. I got extremely upset at this and accused him of not being attracted to me, but he assured me that wasn't it. And when the outing was done, he was right. He'd be just as attracted to me as before. Regardless, it was weird. I felt like boundaries were getting crossed. I left this out on the first Reddit post that I deleted, but he had an accident at work and Ace called me saying that he would be the one to take Sean to the hospital and I argued with him, but Ace took him anyway. I didn't even know what hospital he went to or anything. Sean was fine, and insisted that he went to Ace's house afterwards because he didn't want to be alone. I told him that hurt me because it seemed like he was saying that he felt alone with me. Again, he assured me that wasn't the case and it was the shock of the physical accident, and Ace was like his brother and his only family. Sean doesn't have much family, and it's only me, Ace, and his aunt that he barely talks to. During my dress fitting, he brought Ace. Which, I should mention, he spent the night with Ace the night before the dress fitting and was 10 minutes late with my family there. When I saw Ace, I was furious. He yelled at me the first time a week ago when I asked him, "Are you and Ace having some weird thing going on?" It was along those lines. It was more like a joke, but he was like, "Oh God, no, I'd never. I don't even like men and Ace is like a brother," which he's never had an interest in men before, but what? Please tell me I'm not crazy. He also likes a lot of woman models, etc. Anyway, all of that was weird. Including all the times they just hang out on the weekends and Sean would dress up for hours. I mean hours. And put on cologne and then Ace would show up in just a baggy hoodie with a chain and jeans. But this took the cake. He missed our 8-year anniversary dinner for the first time to celebrate 8 years of him and Ace meeting / becoming business partners. I was furious. If this didn't make it any better, he was apparently blackout drunk and stayed over at Ace's. I could have driven to Ace's etc., which is what my friends were saying. But why would I do that? I'm tired of it genuinely. When he got back home, he was apologizing profusely and telling me how much he loved me and our relationship, but I told him that it would be over if he didn't choose between Ace and I. He looked defeated and told me that Ace was like family and he couldn't believe I'd ask him that, and I stormed out the house after ignoring every single compromise he threw at me. Even if our lease isn't up, I stayed at my parents' and I am so ready to just stay here. He called me several times in the last day and left me voicemails. Honestly, I'm debating picking up and talking things out, but I can't help but think I am the problem here. Relevant comments. Commenter, NTA, but why did you stay with a gay/bi man for 8 years? You can't be that dense. OP, he was always openly called himself straight, and it's so stupid because I've told him I didn't care what he was if he wanted to come out. I like things that he doesn't really like. Like anime and things like that. And, it came up that I thought 2 people in an anime were gay that I watched and I literally told him that he could tell me anything. Even if he was as gay as them. He laughed and told me to shut up. Commenter, have you ever gone out with Sean and Ace? Has Ace dated any girls? Are you ever invited to hang out with them? OP, Ace has dated girls, but I think he's also dated men. Ace is like a character. He's a wannabe gangster. I wish I was a terrible person so I could post what he looks like. He listens to rap and has huge rims on his car. As an obvious white person, I'm not trying to be racist or push stereotypes at all. Just trying to set the picture. Commenter. What do your parents think of all this? Just out of curiosity. OP, my mother thinks it's a bit weird, especially since Sean and Ace were talking the whole dress fitting, and only stopped talking when I started showing Sean my dresses. I have no idea why he even bought Ace considering he left to go to the bathroom and he was struggling with depression. Commenter, why are you marrying him? OP, after all these comments? I'm not sure it's happening anymore. Commenter, downvoted, you need to get friends. In all of this, the one bad thing I'd say is missing the anniversary. The rest is all pretty normal for a couple with friends and no kids. Sounds like you're fuming he has a friend and want him at your beck and call at all times other than work. Also 1 a.m. is not the crack of dawn, lol, behave. OP, anyone that tells me it was so obvious needs to read comments like these. These are the comments that kept me second guessing in the first place. And here I am, trying not to second guess again. To the several commenters saying that this is rage bait because it's Pride Month, happy Pride by the way. OP, it didn't even occur to me that it was Pride Month. I am bisexual, but I wouldn't have just posted a fake gay love story on Pride Month while I'm sobbing on my couch for. What? Commenter, am I the only one who's bothered by the comment that 1 a.m. is the crack of dawn? OP, I'm sorry. I switched up the times in another post. I guess here I was trying to make myself sound less dumb. Most of the time it would be 4 a.m., but I just wanted more flat opinions here other than, you're stupid aren't you? So I tried to be as flat as possible. OP comments on the AITA post 5 hours later, I hope this doesn't get lost, but after about 5 hours straight of being on the toilet, sick on my stomach and reading the comments on this post. I'm going to log off for now. I would like to say that in no way am I trying to be homophobic, biphobic, or transphobic. For the people saying it's fake and it's confusing, if you comment under this and ask me about consistencies and gaps, I promise you I will fill them in. It's not really my concern if anybody thinks it's fake, because it's clear I have other priorities right now. Like addressing the clear emotional affair my fiancé has been having. I am under extreme distress and I probably have made typos or messed up consistencies. Again, if you have any questions, just comment under this. I don't want to confuse anybody and I will try my hardest to answer anything. To give you even more context and to just air out my trauma like Reddit is my therapist. 1. During the sex fiasco, he was excited all night for the trip. He came on to me first, but said that he was too excited and that he wanted his mind to be all on me while we were having sex. Sex continued as normal after this, though it was a little less, which seems suspicious to everyone now, but it wasn't to me then because he was helping his best friend with severe depression. 2. Thank you everyone for the nice comments and I will try my best to make an update. If I do this convo over text, I'll post the update with screenshots and receipts. Update 1. I called Sean at my parents' house, crying in the phone. We talked until 3 a.m. and the engagement is called off. To nobody's surprise, Sean admitted something was happening between the two. I explained the Reddit post and he called me malicious for blasting him online. I told him that he's lucky I didn't blast Ace and him on our socials/Facebook. After that comment, I explained the comments. There was a particular comment where they mention Ace's feelings, and how I should ask Ace. I said I might just do that. Sean told me not to, and told me straight out that Ace had feelings for him. I was speechless. I asked him how long he knew, and he said since a few years ago. So I asked if there was anything between the two and he told me, I don't know. I was so confused, and we stayed up until 3 a.m. talking about how Sean doesn't really understand his own feelings, but he knows that he feels stronger about Ace than he does towards me, and calling off the engagement would be the only choice if I chose him to choose. He actually referred to Ace as his life. He told me that I was never a bad fiancé and he loved me throughout everything, and it was nothing I did. He just said that he never has felt so connected to someone since Ace commented on his feelings. My suspicion is that physical things did happen, but Sean rejected that idea a few times before going silent altogether when I asked about it. I'm pretty sure they at least did something because he said, even if they did, it didn't change anything about the situation, but we will never know. He wouldn't admit it regardless of how heated the conversation got. So, thanks Reddit. My engagement is officially off and I'm officially single. He said that he'll pay for the full apartment while the lease is running up, but he'll stay with Ace for now so I don't have to stay at my parents'. Why am I not surprised? All in all, it was a pretty healthy conversation and he admitted a lot of things I probably couldn't get out of him if I would have tried to do it in writing or in person. He never fully admitted an affair, but alluded to it. Regardless, his affair was emotional nonetheless and he admitted it was, because his emotional attachment towards Ace was almost suffocating. I have no idea what that means, but he said it after I told him that the affair was emotional at least. I even asked him if he was in the closet this whole time to put my mind at ease, and he said that he is very much into women, and that he still didn't know what changed when Ace walked into his life. I can't make that up. Really. I'm not sure how I'm coping with this, but I am going to choose me. I'm excited to start a new chapter of my life without Sean and Ace. Edit. For everyone commenting about my lack of grammar, stop. I know that I messed up, I just wanted to keep it consistent and the post got too much traction for me to change it. Please don't be biphobic in the comments. Bi people exist. The comments being mature and explaining how bi crisis works are great. I am not angry at either of them. If anything, I am kind of wishing them the best. Sean described Ace how I described Sean. And even though it makes me tear up thinking about it, Sean deserves that world. Sean deserves that kind of love and attraction. Even if he thought he had it for me. I'm only upset that he lied, and he felt like he couldn't trust me, so he strung me along and wasted my life. Though, maybe he couldn't trust himself either. Relevant comments. Commenter, I wish you nothing but healing and happiness. OP, I hope you know you did nothing wrong, and you deserve better than what Sean did to you. A stand-up kinda guy would have broken off the engagement instead of stringing you along like that. OP, thank you. I honestly sound calmer than I am though. I've been a mess. I just thought you guys deserved a calm, collected update. Reading the Reddit comments yesterday had me already mourning before I got onto the phone with Sean, though. Commenter, I don't know, is such a childish response. He has known in his gut for years. The man you thought you knew and who he is are two different people. Take time to recover, wish you the best moving forward. OP, not to mention when he said that Ace admitted his feelings, it was a night I knew in my gut something was up, and Ace kissed him that night. I just condensed it down. The plot was so thick and I talked from 8 p.m. to like 3 a.m. I promised him I wouldn't put extremely private details that could reveal his identity in exchange of him paying the full apartment. I don't know if this is extremely private, but it's something. Commenter, I probably wouldn't be admitting blackmailing someone for not outing them if I were you. OP, I didn't really agree to that. He offered to pay for the apartment. He just kind of said, please don't do this or I'll stop this. And I really just didn't care. It's not like I was going to blast him anyway, and I don't want to stay in my parents' small 2-bedroom house with 5 dogs. Commenter, how horrible. He cheated point blank, and from what you wrote it was probably more than just a kiss. Sean is awful for not openly communicating his feelings sooner and dragging you along for so long. At least now the healing can begin. Block them both and live your life to the fullest. There's someone amazing out there for you, who will put you first. Remember, this isn't your fault. Cheaters cheat for selfish reasons. He didn't deserve you anyway. OP, I agree. I told him I wasn't mad that he fell for someone else, but that he let me think he was in love with me while he was doing it. He actually started crying and told me that he didn't know, again. I find myself feeling bad for him, but I can't help but think I got the worst out of it. So why should I? Commenter, so sorry it ended this way, but at least you know now. Did he say why he never told you about your feelings for Ace, or why he just didn't end the engagement? OP, well, I'd like to think I know Sean a little bit. After 8 years. It just sounded like he was scared. When he admitted Ace kissed him, it sounds the same when he admits that he lost money gambling or when he doesn't know which choice to choose in a choice-based game. Like someone in my DMs was saying, I'm assuming he wasn't even aware himself and this was the first time admitting out loud that he wanted to pursue Ace. Commenter, it just seems so weird. Was he planning to actually marry you? I'm cross at him myself for completely wasting your time these last 4 years. OP, I actually think he was planning to marry me until Ace confessed 2 to 3 years ago. That's when he said I don't know, I wasn't there. But I'd like to trust him on that. At least trust him on something. But, I'm also disappointed because that means I was hoping for a marriage that he was pulling away from for 2 to 3 years. A commenter shares their story. Commenter, I'm a woman. I thought I was straight for 32 years. I met a woman I fell hard for. I assumed I was still straight, and that she was a one-off. Nope. I've been a full-blown lesbian for 27 years now. Thankfully, for me, I was single, but if I had still been married, I don't know what would have happened. I've seen this happen to others. This is not an easy thing for anyone to go through. While it doesn't mean crap behavior is okay, it also means that some people aren't going to do what the rest of us think they should, because society makes this sort of thing very hard, especially for men. While I think he should have broken off the engagement, I can understand why he didn't. He probably felt he had to keep up appearances. We all know how society treats LGBTQ+ folks, and he might not have support. OP doesn't deserve to be treated like this, but maybe a little understanding goes a long way. Don't out him to anyone. That's not anyone's decision but his. Outing people against their will is morally reprehensible. You never know whose mental health you're fucking with, or if it puts them in any danger. He should have broken up, but it's understandable why he didn't. As for his, I don't know, response to his feelings, I'm pretty sure he does know and can't admit it. I wish everyone well here. OP, thank you. If I could pin this comment I swear I would. That's what I wanted to say in the edit. After a lot of DMS about people who went through the same thing Sean did, I can't bring myself to hate or blame Sean. I'm trying my hardest to muster up immense anger, but it's such a niche situation where I can't. He's a liar at best, which is disappointing, but like I said in the edit, bi people exist. He was always very attracted to women. I believe he really still is, but like you said, randomly falling in love with a man, why he would fall in love with Ace, poor choice, disgusting choice even, is scary, especially if you thought you were with your life partner already. I'm just thankful he didn't marry me. I'm thankful that the call made it come out. I'm thankful I made the Reddit post. I'm sad and thankful. Why she says Ace is a poor choice, other than the obvious of kissing an engaged man. Well, he just dresses and talks in a culturally appropriative way and he's white as hell. He also had a girlfriend Kiana that they fell out with. Should have seen this as a red flag, but Kiana didn't like how close they were either when Kiana and I met. Kiana would just say that he was a poor boyfriend in terms of time management and acting like he cared. Also, she said that Sean knew more about Ace than even she did. Also he's just obnoxious and rude and hated me for a while. Now I know it's probably because I was engaged to the person he had feelings for.